First of all, I truly and most obediently offer my pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagavan Baba and to the members of the devotees who are here today, the religion of love. It is indeed a great opportunity for me to be with all of you. I can indeed call each one of you a great luminary in the devotional path of Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba. And thanks to all the sisters and brothers, particularly to the brother who introduced me to speak. I am going to speak on a very, very important topic. Of course, it is not going to be based upon my personal experiences that I have shared once, and we can keep it again for the future. Today, this evening, we all stand on a very, very important topic. To first understand, this presentation is going to be a journey. It's going to have few stoppages so that we go to the destination as per how the topic itself is going to be. I first introduce the topic. It is we, the chosen ones. So you can see, just when you close your eyes and you put Bhagavan in your darshan, in whatever form you have seen him, and then when you repeat within yourself, I wish you do that by closing your eyes, getting Bhagavan in your darshan in your own beautiful way, and then just read the topic or speak to yourself silently, we, the chosen ones. Can you do it for me for a couple of seconds? Just please close your eyes, take Bhagavan inside, and then speak to him, saying, we, the chosen ones. So let me start it from my side. We, the chosen ones. Now, who are this we? And what is it that Bhagavan has chosen us? And what is it we have done to be chosen by Bhagavan himself? That will be our part A of the journey. The part B of the journey is more significant in the way it will be more illuminated. What is the reason for the avatar to have come down on this land and then choose us and then allow us to do whatever we want to? And then in the final phase of the journey, what is it that Bhagavan is supposed to do for everybody else? So I hope I'm clear with the objective of my presentation this evening. Now, when you see this humanity in general, the countries that we all know in the maps, and then the number of population that is existing around us, and then in dimension to that, we, the devotees of Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba, are limited, quite limited in terms of percentage of the whole universe. Then what is it so significant? What is it in the abundance of the blessings that we are his chosen ones? Now I start the journey for the evening, and I am thoroughly confident that each one of you today listening to this, or who will be joining at a later stage listening to the recording, will be so relieved, will be so satisfied that the path ahead is something beautiful. Now, please shed all our ignorances that we are a simple human being. The fact is, we are not so simple. Let's understand that. Each one of us sitting here, listening to this topic, or anybody for that matter, having been born as a Satya Sai devotee of Bhagavan Satyasai Baba or not at all small people as per what we think we are. We are more than what we actually know. The moth does not know that one day it is going to become a beautiful butterfly. The tamarind seed does not know that it is one day going to become a tree. Similarly, each of us within our own self does not know or do not understand that the innate divinity in each one of us are or is going to be the divine in the coming days. Now, Bhagavan Satyasai Baba, in his very, very own words, very categorically stated that millions and millions of people know me, and millions of people will come here to listen to me. But out of this million, there are only going to be a few. He used the word handful, not even few. Only handful of them who are going to transcend the cycle of birth and death. My dear sisters and brothers, I take you on this important pedestal of life. Satya Sai Baba, in his immense grace and mercy, chose us. And for what? Bhagavan says, come, experience, and enjoy. Now, this word come applies to the entire universe, but the word experience is filtered to such a narrow extent that out of these millions, it turns out to only a lakh who has been filtered. And then he says, understand. Now, who are we to understand? Now, we are to understand the Lord, the Brahmanda Nayaka, the Satya Sai Baba as God, Guru, friend, whatever, so be it. Now, I come into the most significant journey, the path why he chose us. I take you to a very beautiful illustration. The Lord Himself used to say, and it is this point of time I want you all to understand the sentences that I'm going to narrate in complete depth of divine devotion. When you seat Bhagavan in you, the so-called bhakti or the love for Bhagavan is going to be so eminently pure that each of my word will be connecting you to the divinity. And that is my understanding for the day. And that is going to be my efforts for this night. Shri Krishna, the Lord Krishna, at his most young stage of his life, the so-called Bala Krishna, was once playfully playing in the fields on the bank of the river. It was at this point of time Krishna's so-called mother, Yashoda, came to the river bank to take home few pots of water. And now she takes all these 3 pots of water filled from the river and she takes these pots of water onto her head. At this point of time, she cries for Lord Krishna. She in fact shouts, Hey Krishna, Hey Krishna. But Krishna, being a playful little child, unmindful of the words of his own mother, runs away from the banks of the river and goes home. My dear devotees of Bhagavan Baba, just see what follows. And many of you will really be thrilled to understand what's happening. Shri Krishna reaches his home and he sees for himself his mother entering the house most painfully with all the 3 pots of water on her head. Shri Krishna comes out of the window, goes to the mother, and removes the pot one after the other, even without being asked to do so. At this point of time, the mother asks Krishna, Hey Krishna, what is this Leela I am witnessing? When I wanted you to lift these pots of water onto my head, you simply refused. But now, even without calling for help, you have rushed out of the house and come to lighten this. There, Shri Krishna, the Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba of the present Avatara, where he has chosen all of us, narrates the experiences and says to his mother, "Oh, mother, the Lord has descended on this earth to ensure that each of his devotee is enlightened, is lightened with the burden that he or she is carrying. How can the Lord witness his own bhakta carrying such a weight on his head? I have come here, I have taken birth on this planet of this earth to ensure that I remove all these burdens that people are carrying on their heads." Dear devotees of Baba, the first point of journey where I would like to commence is we have been chosen by Bhagavan himself just to ensure that each one of us in our life travel and transcend this universe till we merge at his lotus feet joyfully and not carrying any burdens in our life. And Bhagavan Baba has ensured that all his devotees do not henceforth carry any burdens. Hence, Swami himself has come down to ensure that all the weight, the life which we are now enjoying with such a burden is taken care of, and he makes us more lighter. Now, let me narrate to you a most important event in everybody's life. It happens, and so it will. It was once, we all know, Dr. Easlip. He is a very pious, a very beautiful devotee of Bhagavan Baba. He was once having a book in his hand, which was titled Great 10 Saints of India. And Swami happened to see the title of the book, and Swami apparently asked him, "Oh, Easlip, what is the book you are holding?" To which Easlip said, "Swami, this is a book entitled Great 10 Saints of India." Swami said, "Oh, is it so? They are not saints, they are scholars. And I, who stand before you, is Bhagavan, God, and God is now here before you." So, those are the most definite statements of Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba. I take you to a very important divine declaration. And here, please understand the word chosen ones. Why is it this topic has the word chosen ones? And here I go with my illustration. I'm in fact going to narrate to you two incidences supported by two miracles so that we understand how this miracle touches the lives of devotees. The first, let's look into the divine declaration. Many years back, as many of us are very fortunate or were fortunate to have seen Swami walking past us in the Kulwant Hall with a beautiful music sounding in our ears, and Swami just coolly coming to each one of us. And it was those days when Swami used to take letters from all of us. On a particular day, when Swami was walking past all his devotees, he took letters from the ladies' side, he came to the gents' side, and then he went on to the students' side and found there were enough number of letters, more than what Bhagwan himself anticipated. He asks his translator, Sri Anil Kumar, "अरे आज तो चिट्ठियां बहुत है. Why should people submit letters to me? And I can't understand what letters to take and what letters not to take." Dear devotees of Bhagwan Baba, please listen to this declaration of Bhagwan in our lives. And who on earth can tell this for the sake of his devotees. When Anil Kumar said, Bhagwan, please take those letters on which or in which there is more emergency. Swami says, hey, in the life of my devotee, there never will come a time when there is going to be an emergency. For if there had been an emergency, I would have rushed to my devotee's life, to the place of my devotee. He would not find time to even write a letter. I would have manifested myself before my devotee to save him from whatever danger he or she was there at that point of time. That is the declaration of Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba. Nowhere you would have ever seen such divine declaration so loud and so clear. But people might have a doubt. How does that happen? How will that emergency come in anybody's life for Bhagavan to know, to manifest himself before a devotee? Here is a very important doubt. Everybody will ask, everybody will have, and that's genuine. I take you to a very important miracle that happened in the life of a very, very beautiful devotee who was very close to Bhagavan. As I said, he was Dr. John Eastland. He, along with a friend of his from New York, after having Swami's darshan, they were going back to the Whitefield from Bangalore. And when you listen to this miracle, it's beyond human imagination, beyond human comprehension. How Bhagavan, sitting somewhere, is able to do this. Leave alone what he did. But let me let you know what Bhagavan said after this was done. The miracle was Islip and his friend from New York, after taking darshan of Bhagavan, were going back to Bangalore. On those days, we used to call it the old Bangalore Road. And on one side of the road, repair was going on. So the road was very narrow. And in one of the side, a bus was hiding the view or the vision of the driver. And so one particular stretch of road was not properly visible. It was quite late in the night. So the driver wanted to overtake the bus, and in the opposite direction came another car. And there was no way anybody could stop. There was no way anybody could realize what happened. And there was a magnificent clash head on with the cars. But allow me to just breathe a little and come back to you. What happened? Both the cars overwent each other without hitting, without an accident. And when these cars exchanged positions, Islip saw at the back that car had gone. There was no accident. Nothing happened to anyone. Leave this alone here. The next day, when Bhagavan darshan was going on, when Islip went and asked this to Swami, Swami, nowhere on this point of birth I could have come and seen you again alive. The nature of yesterday's accident was, it is indescribable. It can't be told. But how did it, Swami? How did it happen? And how did you come and save us? Swami said, Satya Sai Baba is the witness in everyone's life henceforth. And those are the chosen ones. And we indeed are the most chosen ones of Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba. We can be sevadals, we can be singers, we can be anybody, any instrument in the organization of Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba, or an instrument in the hands of Bhagavan. And how does and why does Bhagavan assure us with protection? I now pause for a few moments and would request one of my bhajan singers here, who has very melodiously prepared a bhajan.
साई पिता और माता साई, साई पिता और माता साई, दीन दयाल दाता साई, दीन दयाल दाता साई, साई पिता और माता साई, साई गुरु साई सखा सहोदर, साई गुरु साई सखा सहोदर, साई सत्य शिव साई सुंदर, साई सत्य शिव साई सुंदर, वेद उपनिषद गीता साई, वेद उपनिषद गीता साई, दीन दयाल दाता साई, दीन दयाल दाता साई, साई पिता और माता साई.
That was a beautiful bhajan sung. And now, this bhajan was sung by Swami's student, who by the name was Mr. V. Kumar. Devotees of Swami, we are in a very, very critical stage of our topic. This student of Swami, V. Kumar, had prayed Swami that Swami must listen to his bhajan whenever an opportunity arose for him to sing. This brother, Kumar, had apparently practiced his bhajan for many number of times. And an opportunity did come before him to dedicate this bhajan at the divine lotus feet at the Kulwant Hall in Prashanti Nilayam. The moment he closed his eyes and started singing this bhajan, which was very beautifully sung by my sister just now, Sai Pitar Mata Sai. What happened? Bhagavan got up from his seat and left and vanished. This poor Kumar, who had practiced this bhajan for n number of times, only for Swami to listen, found to his amazement that Swami was not listening to it. Swami had left. And Swami took his while, and when Swami returned back to his divine chair, the bhajan was almost over. In fact, over at all. And this guy was really in tears. Picking up some guts, he goes to Bhagavan and asks Bhagavan, Swami, what is it that I have done? After practicing for so long number of times, I wanted to dedicate this bhajan at your divine lotus feet. But you chose not to listen to me. You walked off. Bhagavan, in his most definite mercy, abundant blessings, told Kumar, can you repeat the first word of that bhajan? And as you all know, this particular bhajan describes Bhagavan as father, describes Bhagavan as mother. And Swami said, when you so described me as mother and father, your own father in the East Prashanti Nilayam had an heart attack. And when you call me as a mother and father, It is bounden on me. It is my bounden duty to take care of everybody whom you know. I had to just walk across the East Prashanti Nilayam to ensure that I save your mother, save your father from what was imminently dangerous going to happen. So this is our Bhagavan for us. And why he chose us was to ensure that each one of us, that each child of Bhagavan Satyasai Baba, as he just said, there never can be an emergency in the devotee's life of which it would happen. I would have manifested myself before him. Exactly. Instead of Bhagavan manifesting, he left his divine chair or rushed to the point where somebody needed him. You all know the Kulwant Hall, where we go and take darshan of Bhagavan Satyasai Baba. Have you ever understood when you look up the Kulwant Hall, you can find beautiful decorative pieces enamored on top of you, little gold colors. But one thing very significant happened when this Kulwant Hall was getting painted. Swami was asked what should be the color of the ceiling of the Sai Kulwant Hall. Now you all know in the veranda, it's light bluish on top. Swami said, and please mark my words and please listen to them with utmost devotion. Swami said to the person, when you paint the Kulwant Hall on the top ceiling, please ensure it is of this particular green in color, a typical dark green in color. When you all just recollect the Kulwant Hall ceiling sitting beneath it, you can all understand it is green in color on top. Swami went on to say, in his most compassionate, kindest of grace, Swami said, Kulwantal is the place where my devotees sit and take darshan of beloved Bhagavan. And these devotees have come from far and far places. The color green over their head signifies protection. And whoever sits in the Kulwantal under this green color is always, always, always protected with the grace and blessings of Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba wherever he or she goes after taking darshan. A 1 minute sitting in Kulwant Hall, a 1 second darshan of Bhagavan Baba with the green color on top is a lifelong protection by Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba to all his chosen ones in the universe, come what may, or wherever you have come. Bhagavan is with you. Bhagavan is with me. Bhagavan is with us physically all through. Every day, every time. One beautiful little illustration of example, which I wanted to share with all of you. In the olden days, at the Kulwant Hall, it once so happened, while Bhagavan was giving darshan, a small caterpillar went on to his robes, the orange robe. Swami was walking, giving darshan, and as he was walking, this small caterpillar started climbing and it almost came up above his orange robes, close to his hair beneath. A small student who was sitting close to Bhagavan saw this poor creature climbing up. He removed his pencil and he removed the caterpillar from Swami's orange robes. Down fell the caterpillar onto that slippery floor. And the caterpillar was moving from one direction to the other direction. As it came close to one devotee, He carrom-boarded it to some other point, and the creature went other side, and it was twist and tossed here and there. Swami, in his most beautiful divine address, came before the audience and said, "This poor caterpillar, as long as it was with Bhagavan Baba, it was protected, it was safe, and it was saved. The moment it went away from Bhagavan, the moment it got detached from divinity, people started playing the game of Maya by tossing it here and by tossing it there. Herein lies the important meaning of being with Bhagavan, of living with Bhagavan, of remaining with Bhagavan throughout, and not to get detached by Bhagavan, so that in the world of this Maya, we do not get tossed up between here and there. And how do we ensure that 24/7, what Bhagavan has beautifully stated, the CIA of a devotee, the constant integrated awareness of a devotee? It's so simple. As you all know, I take you back again in the lives of Sri Krishna, and a very beautiful episode, a narration that touches everybody of us happened. Krishna lost his way, or apparently lost his way, and was not found at home. The loving mother, Yashoda, start searching Bhagavan Krishna everywhere, and everywhere. But astonishingly, she doesn't find where Lord Krishna has gone. She takes upon this matter to her neighbors, and who all say, Krishna just drank milk and ran away from here. You should just walk the forest again. Out goes Yashoda, sees the mud, and finds small footprints of milk on the sand. Being a mother, she's happy, she's thrilled to understand that Bhagavan Krishna must not be very far behind. What does she do? She walks on the footprints of that milk. She walks for few steps, and few steps, and to a beautiful joy and enthralled divinity, she is able to find Krishna at the last print of the foot on which she walked upon. What are we to understand from here? Is it Yashoda searched Krishna? Or is it Krishna wanted him to be searched? Neither of them are true. The spiritual truth is, when we walk on the divine footprints of Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba, we end up taking note where our divinities. We end up merging with our own divine master, Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba. It is this incident which should carry us forward, which should make us remember every time that we should always walk on the divine footsteps of Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba. Let us not postpone this journey for a moment. Let us not even think by closing our eyes that time will come in our age old wisdom. We can catch up with spirituality and we can attain divinity. No, that time, I'm afraid, if not over, it has at least started from now. Let us not leave this journey to an age where we all think that after this particular point of our life, we will be able to attain spiritual wisdom and reach divinity. Let me take a small humor, as my speeches generally are filled with humor when I am on live in stages. but online has taken away some of the humor that we can all have. A lady was once promised by his own guru that she will be liberated in life, and that was for granted. This lady never bothered to do anything good, knowing that one day she is going to be liberated. Age caught up with her, and so were the diseases fastly multiplying in her body. She knew that she can't survive, but she also knew that she's going to be liberated the day when she visits Balaji in that beautiful town of Tirupati. So, with all her energy sacked out, few hours or few days before her death, she packs her journey and goes to Tirupati. On the way, she buys some South Indian mixture for eating. She reaches Tirupati. She's almost out, no energy, but that mixture which she brought in the train was left over, and apparently in the journey time she found that there were two cockroaches already in that mixture. So she kills those two cockroaches, eats the mixture, and about to die. And Lord Balaji, in his glory, manifests before this old lady, and she asks Balaji, "Oh God, I am happy you have come, but my prayer to come here was to go to Vaikuntha, and my priest has promised that while I die, I will attain the moksha, the Vaikuntha of your lotus feet." Balaji says, "Oh, is it so? Today I had only two vacancies, and the cockroaches whom you have killed, they have already attained the Vaikuntha, and you have no place to enter. So let our journey not be a Vaikuntha type of that lady, a few days or a few minutes before we all die. Let's let's understand that the journey with Bhagavan has already commenced, has already started, and it is for us now to make use of the chosen one's beauty with Bhagavan, enjoy the life with Swami, enjoy the movement with Bhagavan. And before I leave the audience, let me take you to one more beautiful piece that all of us should know. What are we, and what has happened to people who are Sai devotees? And this is going to be the last nail in the coffin for all of us to know the beauty of being a Sai, which we incidentally sometimes do not know. It was in Rishikesh, long, long back, when students of Bhagavan Satyasai Baba had gone to Rishikesh. And it was evening, and they wanted to stay in some room. They went to an ashram in Rishikesh and requested the priests there to get a room. And there was some formalities to be completed. To cut the long story short, that priest had to take the permission of the head Mahant, the head priest. The priests go to the head priest, tells him that there are a few students from Satyasai Baba who want to stay in our ashram. The head priest is so thrilled. He comes along with the smaller priests, and they were all astonished to see the head priest coming down after listening to this. The head priest comes, takes the student forward, and there are all other priests standing before them. They are all, mind you, great priests. They have learned the Vedas, they have learned the Upanishads, everything. And that head priest says to these priests, and these are small children, students of Bhagavan Satyasai Baba. The head priest says, "Look at these children closely in their eyes." And everybody is astonished, is little shell shocked. The priests who have learned Vedas, Upanishads, and they should see the eyes of these children who have just come to take a favor. But it was an order, a command from the head priest. So therefore, it was inevitable upon them to see the eyes of the students who have come from Shanti Nilayam. After seeing the eyes for a few seconds, the head priest says, "Give these children the room." One of the priests musters courage and asks, "But why did you ask us to see the eyes? You could have straightaway told us that the rooms have to be given, and we would have without a blink of an eye." To which the head priest informed, "The eyes which you saw, the eyes which you saw are those eyes which sees God daily. Having seen the eyes of the students, it is not that we have seen their faces, but today we have been fortunate enough to see God Himself, for these are the eyes that saw God every day." So that is the beauty of being a Bhagavan's devotee. Our eyes has seen God. Those who see us are seeing God. I repeat, our eyes, the chosen eyes of the devotees of Bhagavan, these eyes have seen God, and the world who sees us are seeing God, because innately we are God ourselves. Finally, before I conclude, I take you to one of those beautiful happenings in the Vedic conference, which once happened. And this Vedic conference was attended and participated by great scholars, scholars of yesteryears, scholars of great wisdom, scholars of great knowledge, and scholars who realized life. They too were wearing these orange robes, and so too was Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba. One of the great saints went to Bhagavan and asked Bhagavan, "Bhagavan, you too are wearing this orange robe, and so are we. And what is the difference between both?" Swami said, "I will answer this question at the end of the conference." The conference was over, and the Rishi asked the question, "Bhagavan, you have promised us to ensure to give an answer to our question." And Swami said, Swami just did not speak actually. Swami put one of his hands like this and the other hands like this. So one was facing the top and one was facing down. And he was just mutingly standing before them. And apparently, of course, honestly, nobody could understand. And then the Rishi asked Bhagavan, "Bhagavan, please explain. What is the difference?" We asked, and you are standing like this with one of your hands up and your other hand down. What does it signify? Bhagavan said, "The difference between you and me is I have come from the top, descended to the earth to take the people from the earth right up to the sky." It, the significance of these hands were descending to the earth, uplifting the mankind, ascending them to the heavens. So, my dear sisters, my dear brothers, let's just not while away our present of our life with Bhagavan. Let's ensure that going forward, we live a journey with Bhagavan and live a life for Bhagavan. It is because of this that He has chosen all of us. He could have chosen any number of people, any number of people from different countries, but He has chosen you. He has chosen me. He has chosen those few little lakhs of devotees to be with Him, to live with Him, to understand divinity, so that each one of us, from wherever we are, let us merge from where we have emerged, and that's Bhagwan's only heart. We have to go back. Let's not get carried away by anything else in life. Let's not get whisked away by any little wave of Maya. Let's be with Him. Let's walk on the footsteps of Bhagwan Satyasai Baba. Let us always and always, wherever we are, in whichever point of life we are, as a student, as a driver, as a teacher, as an engineer, as a mathematician, as a scientist, wherever we are, whatever we do, it is Bhagavan doing it through us. It is we destined to do it for Bhagavan. And let us always place in our mind, in our heart, right from this moment, whatever we do and whatever we think, it is Bhagavan who has made us think so. It is Bhagavan who has made us do so. Let us dedicate every 1 second of our life henceforth to Swami, because it is He who has chosen us. It is this journey that we have to walk from I to we, and from we to E. Jai Sai Ram, and thank you very much for this wonderful divine opportunity you all gave me. And I hope that this was not too philosophical. I have ensured to present it in a most easy manner so that each of us, in whatever grade and grace or spiritual life we have, able to understand this, and we take this life journey forward. Jai Sai Ram. Thank you so much.